All right, Bang. Today is Thursday. It's October 2nd. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Before we get going here, I want to talk about game time. Listen, there's nothing like a crisp fall night at the ballpark, but trying to get there is brutal. You're stuck in a queue, prices jump at checkout, you're logged out mid-click. All you want to do is be in the stands, beer in hand, yelling with the crowd. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's a hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. It's incredibly easy, and the Game Time guarantee means that you can trust you'll get 100% authentic MLB tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. I was looking at tickets, so obviously the Cubs are in flux right now. They won game one. Hopefully, we're recording this on a Thursday. Hopefully, they win game two, and then there will be a bunch of DS tickets for Brewers Cubs. You could also go to Milwaukee too. It's only an hour drive.
Wrigley North.
Yes, there's a lot of game time opportunity here when it comes to MLB. But I was looking now, Chief, as you know, the Blackhawks have their home opener on October 11th, Saturday.
That's a good one to go to, Ed. Hope is still there on opening night.
Yes.
So,
and I'm seeing $62.
that's a great get-in price.
Really good get-in price. So hop in on that. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets or NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use code DOGWALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code DOGWALK for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. And on that note, welcome to the show. Today, Chief and I are joined by Nicky Smokes.
Good to be back.
Great to have you back.
Yeah.
We just filmed a nice video going to some dive bars.
Great.
Yeah, it was a fun time. So essentially, what I'm hearing is how this show came about is you guys talked to each other about space.
Well, this was a day a couple weeks ago, and I was doing a blog where they had found evidence of ancient life on Mars. And Smokes and a bunch of other people are just like peppering me, shit talking Caleb Williams at that point. And I'm like, I can't listen to this right now. There's life on Mars. And Smokes just looks at me with a dead face and goes, do you even believe in outer space? And I was like, what? So that was, and I've been like holding off on asking him more questions about that belief because I wanted to do it on a microphone. But in that, I was just like, okay. Like, we'll just, okay, hold it. I'm going to finish this blog and we'll circle back to this later. I'm glad we're circling back to it here.
There's a lot to get into when it comes to this.
Yes. Or maybe there's not.
So I've heard a little bit about you saying your dome theory.
Yeah, I'm a firmament guy.
Does that coincide with this or no?
Yes.
Okay.
So
right.
Explain the firmament.
Okay. So, Earth,
Yeah.
flat,
It's flat.
firmament, dome,
Yeah.
water, firmament protects.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Above and below.
Why? So you're a flat earth guy.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
You're going to have to explain that.
It's not necessarily like flat. Like I believe the firmament is, it's like,
So
like a
you're
dome
not
on
saying
top.
you're not saying that we have a spherical earth with a firmament like bubble outside of it. You're saying the earth is largely flat and there's a dome.
Correct. Yes.
All right. So how did that belief come to be?
I think it made the most sense to me.
Elaborate on that.
So like when we take flights,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They use a flat earth map. Like that's the quickest way from A to B.
Yeah, but they use the curvature of the earth. Like when you and I flew to England together last year.
Correct.
Or in April, earlier this year, I guess. Did you watch the flight map as we were going?
No, I was out like a light.
Okay. So I don't know if you knew this, but we didn't just go from Chicago in a straight line right to London. We went north over Canada, Newfoundland, like over Greenland, and then came back down south to land. Like when we weren't approaching from west to east. When we approached London, we were coming from the north. And that they do that because it's the most fuel efficient way, because you use the curvature of the earth, which is a narrower point.
But the curvature is very minimal.
Minimal how? So you're saying
like,
you would do that same thing even if you're...
I'm saying, like, it's... Look it up.
Okay.
It doesn't make as big as a difference as you think it does, like the calculation that they're using it for.
What? So, But if it was flat, wouldn't you just fly straight?
Yeah, but like if you did a different flight path,
Yeah.
they might not even consider that.
So what am I Googling? Flight path.
Like you could do like Chicago to Florida. Like they're not going to go up here and then come back down.
Right.
Because it's a quicker path. Like it could just be a straight shot.
It is a straight shot when you go that way.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
essentially.
saying.
But
Right.
when you go, because the Earth is getting fatter. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So it's narrower up north. So if you're taking a long flight transcontinental, same thing. Like if you fly from here to Tokyo, like you damn near go over the North Pole.
I've never been to Tokyo.
Yeah, me neither. But that's the flight path from Chicago to Tokyo. I'll pull that.
Okay, but if we were going to Tokyo, right, and you pull up the map.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay, pull it up.
So here's Chicago. You go all the way north to Alaska, and then you don't go into Russian airspace, but you come down into.
And you're saying if it was flat, we would just go from here to here.
Straight across.
Okay.
No curve.
What does this look like, though, this curve?
It looks like, I don't know what you're saying. It looks like it's a curve.
Right. So there's a curve in the firmament.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, but you're saying the planet is two-dimensional, essentially.
In a way.
So why would you use this flight path?
I don't know.
Okay. Honestly, that's a fair answer.
Yeah.
I don't like.
I'm not a pilot, and
Yeah.
I didn't come here to argue spear this, that.
Okay.
My argument is outer space.
Okay. So when you went to Camp Barstool, right?
I did.
Did you do any stargazing up there?
Yes.
What do you think those are?
It's like a refractment.
It's just like a projection. Do you think we're living in a simulation?
I wouldn't rule that out. I don't think we're in a simulation, no.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
However,
But you're not ruling it out.
I'm
ruling it out. I don't believe in a simulation.
I'm not ruling that out because there's no way to prove that we're not.
That's also true.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
Unless like you go biblically, yes. However, I lost my train of thought there.
You're talking about you think that when you look up at the night
Stars. Okay, we're moving. We're orbiting.
Mm-hmm.
Right. North Star never moves.
It's a fixed position. Yeah.
How is that possible?
Is the North Star?
Does not move. How is that possible?
That's a good question. Oh, it says no. The North Star is the North fix. Is the North Star fixed? No, the North Star Polaris does not set. It appears to remain stationary in the night sky because it's positioned almost directly above the Earth's rotational axis. So it's there.
That sounds like a fancy way of saying yes. It does not move.
Correct.
Yeah.
But does that make sense to you? Why? Because if it's dead north, meaning it is the North Star, and the Earth is spinning like this, like the other stars are around here, so those make sense as the Earth tilts and moves and rotates. Why those would be up and down in the sky.
But if the Earth is tilting and it's moving,
yeah,
at least how you see it, where the star would be, would not be the same spot.
No, it is, because that is always north of us, where the other stars are not always aligned to true north.
So all the other stars
are just different places in the.
Are you saying that they're moving?
I think that the stars are fixed, but our perception of them move based upon where the tilt of the Earth and the axis.
Okay, so you're saying
certain constellation.
The North stays in the same spot because it's the highest point up.
It is directly north. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. But what I'm trying,
it's aligned with the Earth's axis.
I guess, yeah, because it'd always be up.
Yeah.
Sure. I think because we could argue stars, this, that. I think where you might have misinterpreted me is how accepted it is that we're just out in outer space all the time.
Yeah.
That I don't believe. Like, I think, first of all, Operation Paperclip, where we went into Germany, took all their scientists, all their doctors, and we brought them over. And we had Werner von Braun. He started NASA.
Not Nazi.
He's a Nazi.
Yeah.
A Nazi started NASA. And if you look up what's on his tombstone, it's a quote from Psalms. And he's saying God's penmanship is shown in his firmament. So this guy who created NASA, where we're supposed to be in outer space, on his tombstone, essentially credited God for his firmament.
The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. I got to be honest with you, Smokes. I've never heard that word before, so I'm going to look for what up. Have you heard of firmaments before?
Firmament.
Yes.
Can't say that I have.
Look it up.
Firmament, the heavens or the sky, especially when regarded to a tangible thing. So a sphere or world is viewed as a collection of people, one of the stars in the American Gulf firmament. So it can be used different ways. But it's, yeah, what you're saying is, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it translates to a bubble necessarily.
Well, if you look at what the firmament means in the Bible, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
I think the moon landing, completely fake.
Okay.
I think it was Hollywood production.
I think there's a lot of evidence for that.
Yes, I think the moon landing was completely fake, and apparently we just lost the technology to ever
go back.
I think that's also insane.
So,
and then there was Operation Fishbowl, where we were just shooting nuclear bombs straight up, essentially trying to break the firmament. So there's a lot of things that I believe, especially with our government and how corrupt.
I've never heard of Operation Fishbowl.
Yes, dude. Like, there's a lot of.
Where are you reading this stuff? Like, I didn't
It's
know.
in the critical thinking group chat with Don.
Like, okay, I knew a little bit about that. I follow you on Twitter, but I was outside of that. I didn't think you're like digging deep on operations.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shady shit that this government, and I'm not saying that I'm 180,000% confirmed in my beliefs. I just think the things that everyone is so certain on, they shouldn't be so certain on.
Do you know about the, it's called the Van Allen radiation belt?
Yes.
Is that part of the firmament?
Well, it's an argument for why we've never left Earth.
Yeah.
Correct.
So the Van Allen radiation belt supposedly is part of our atmosphere that has so much radiation as you're trying to cross through it that you would get
eviscerated.
You would get eviscerated or have like insane cancer rates. Like even like the International Space Station, which I always thought was like way the fuck out there, it ain't.
Right.
It's not that far out. So like you can go to the space station and not cross that belt. So it is in between the moon and the Earth, and they think that that's one of the reasons why we've never really actually been, is because we can't cross that. Astronauts can't cross that. You can send like,
and I agree with that. Like,
yeah.
And let me ask you this, Ed. So moon landing was 69, right? That was
Correct.
Apollo
Yeah.
11. How long do you think it'd take to get to the moon?
I don't even know.
Give a guess.
Months, right?
4 days.
Yeah.
4 days. 1969. 4 days to go to the moon. 4 days.
And we can't get back there.
And we haven't gone back since. 4 days. Quick trip.
So how do we get past that radiation?
Well,
that
he's
time?
saying that we never did.
Yeah.
I
People
think
say that. People do say
I
that.
could be wrong, but it might take longer to get from Florida to California driving than it does to get to the moon. That could be wrong. Could be wrong.
This is also like Stanley Kubrick. Do you know who Stanley Kubrick is?
Yeah.
Do you know who Stanley
I don't.
He's like a legendary director.
Yeah.
Shining, Clockwork Orange.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
So that's the thing where 2001: A Space Odyssey was a movie that came out just before the moon landing. That movie came out in 1968. And the thinking is that they brought him in to like help fake the actual moon landing and do all the shots and things like that.
I would believe that.
And in other films after that, he would leave little, like, what do you call those, like Easter eggs about how the moon landing was fake. There's another CIA guy who's involved with like MK Ultra. He was a guy who like made Jack Ruby allegedly go insane, so he could never be questioned about the Kennedy assassination. That is a guy named Jolly West, and there's just like random photos of the 2001: A Space Odyssey movie, and Jolly West is there,
Right.
just on set. Kind of odd.
There's a lot of odd things.
Okay, so is there a way that you would have evidence, James Webb Telescope, anything like that, where you're like, okay, I'm going to move off of this?
I
Also, why do you think that they would lie about this? What would be the point of that? That's what I never understand.
The moon landing?
I understand why the moon landing would be fake, but like if you think the Earth is flat and everyone else is saying it's a sphere, and there's a lot of evidence to say
I do think, now this is just me and my biblical beliefs. I think there's a lot of people that are trying to separate us from God and like essentially pick apart things that are said in the Bible to prove it as false. I think it's very deep. I think it's like we're in like the midst of a spiritual warfare almost.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of evil people involved at the top that work for the other guy.
Okay. So here's what I say when people are like, I think this both helps and hurts your argument, where it's like science and religion are at war.
Right. And sometimes science will back religion.
Sometimes.
Correct. And sometimes it goes against it.
I don't know why people can't just be like, these are two completely different domains.
Correct.
Science teaches you what things are. Religion tells you how you should act in the world.
But it also answers the question to which came first, the chicken or the egg.
What do you mean by that?
The creator.
Yeah, but we don't know what the creator is. But even then, I don't think that those are, because we don't know how we all got here or what else is out there or anything. This could be a multiverse. It could be anything. But if you're looking at it like the Bible is scientific, that's like an account of how the world came to be. We haven't had the scientific method in the world. We've only had science for 500 years. It's hard to think like a scientist.
Let me ask you this. And I want to go back to
there's barely any scientists now.
I want to go back to space too, but
okay.
You said we've had science for 500 years, right?
Yeah, approximately, yeah.
Okay. So how in those 500 years...
Which was born out of religion.
For sure. In those 500 years, how can they go back and cite shit that happened billions of years ago?
In terms of like the Big Bang?
In terms of everything that they're like, oh yeah, this happened 5 billion years ago. Who was there?
Yeah, I mean, I think people have a lot of problems with carbon dating. Like that people don't necessarily trust carbon dating. But no one was there. But I don't think they're saying, what do you mean? Like, I don't think they're being like, this is a direct account of what happened. They're using carbon dating, which people now like dispute. I don't know enough about carbon dating to say one way or another. But they're like, you can test soil, you can test organic matter that is in rocks and shit to be like, we can get an approximated date. But they're not saying like, this is what happened necessarily
I'd beg to differ.
What do you think they're saying?
Like they're telling you exactly when, let's say, Earth was created, like blank many years ago.
Yeah.
But like
certain amounts of billions of years ago, 6 billion years ago, I think is the number for the creation of Earth.
Right. And you're telling me they got that number from testing rocks and soil?
I think it's an approximation. I don't think that's like gospel.
Okay.
No pun intended.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. But that is like an approximation that they're saying that. And you think it, how old do you think the Earth is?
I don't have an answer to that.
Okay, because the Bible says it's like 6,000 years old.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of evidence to say that it's older than that.
There could be, yeah.
There
I'm
is.
sure there is. But I didn't want to come in here and like be overly prepped and like recite things that I just read on Wikipedia. I want to come in here with an open mind.
Yeah.
So that is something
okay
I would check out, but there was something I wanted. Okay, back to the moon landing. Look this up for me.
Okay.
And I'm going to sound dumb for asking this question.
Yeah.
Gravity on the moon.
Yeah. What about it?
Do they have it?
It says they do.
Okay.
I mean, like, in order for any sort of planet to form,
now
there has to be gravity pulling it together.
Is there like wind gust?
That would have to do with the atmosphere. I don't believe there is.
Okay, so my question is, right? Gravity pulls things down, even if it's a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? So when we plant this flag on the moon, and the picture they take, it has ripples in it, and it's perfectly horizontal, as if there's a wind blowing through the flag.
But that's like, if you look at the moon flag, okay, there are ripples on it, but it does look like it's blowing. But this picture specifically, I think you can see pretty clearly that there's a little, is that a star or is that a rod? But I think there's like a rod holding up this edge. You can kind of see that rod. So I don't think it's wind. I think it's...
Look at right there, though.
Yeah, but I think if he pulls this all the way down, then you're going to have like a sphere. Those look like wrinkles.
By the way, that picture
storage.
does not look like it's from 1969, does it?
Well,
the picture that they took on those cameras
Yeah.
had to be film, right?
yeah.
And you're telling me those film would survive going through Earth's atmosphere, all that radiation, and then coming back and not damaged whatsoever?
That's a good point.
Well, hold on. I would also like to point out on January 19th, 2002, the Dog Walk, this show currently, we did a debunking the moon landing conspiracy episode where a lot of these theories, we actually debunked them. Now that
What
might have
year
been-
was this?
This is 2022. I will
I remember
put
this
it in there.
episode.
I
Yeah,
remember
so
doing it, but I can't remember
We
what it was.
actually debunked a lot of these. We'd have to kind of go through
Yeah.
and do all that. But I remember even a while ago things like, why is the thing blowing? What's up with the footprint? Why with
Flag
radiation?
blowing, yeah.
And we had answers to all of these things.
Did you have the answer to how we were perfectly talking to the president from the moon in 1969?
I believe so. This
You can
is
send
cheap.
sound waves all the way. Like we get sound waves coming from like distant planets.
Right. Okay.
I don't know what's causing
So
those
here,
sound waves.
these are the ones we broke down. So it is Adams versus Jefferson in it. It looks like conspiracy theories, the flag, no stars being there. We broke down delayed choice, shadows, cameras, rocket launch, and Hollywood were all broken down in this 24-minute episode on January 19th, 2020.
And no disrespect to the Dog Walk group, but I'm not taking you guys debunking thing as gospel.
This
Fair.
is cheap.
Yeah, well, I am not an authority on fucking anything.
Right.
It says that there are no stars.
And there's no
visible-
stars because of the saturation of
Yeah,
the photo.
right.
Essentially.
So they want to show the brightness of the moon as opposed to the stars.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of want to get back to this religion thing.
all right, let's go back.
So why do you think that there's a battle between good and evil, and why is that between science and religion?
So, I think the battle between good and evil doesn't necessarily correlate to religion and science.
Okay.
I think the battle of good and evil is what it sounds like. Good, evil. People that live for God, people that live for themselves, aka serving the other guy.
Yeah.
Now, both can manipulate one another.
Okay.
You could use the Bible or the word or whatever because Satan used it with Jesus. He used scriptures and quotes and
Yeah.
things like that to tempt Jesus.
Tempted
Now-
him in the desert, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Now, on the other side, you could use things such as science to debunk this, debunk that, etc. So I believe both tools can be used for both good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
However, I feel like if you take a grand scheme of like even just things in America and where we're at, there's a lot of good versus evil going on right
Yeah.
now. And I think that comes from the spirit that's within all of us, because I could never wake up and go, hey, I'm going to go murder someone in broad daylight. That's not in my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for someone else, they might wake up and that's what feels right in their spirit. And that's the difference between good, evil. And I just feel like as of right now, where we're at in society, it's on full display in terms of there's no regard for human life. No one loves the person next to them as much as themselves. No, everyone is selfish. They only think about themselves. There's no, it's a weird word to say, but like camaraderie. Like no one looks at the person next to them and genuinely cares about them.
We've lost our sense of community.
Yes, and we've lost the respect of life.
Okay. I mean, are you talking like specifically like abortions or just in general?
No, not school shootings,
Yeah.
mass shootings,
Yeah.
terrorist attacks.
Mm-hmm. Wars.
You could wars, and just Chicago.
Yeah.
They're just walking around shooting people down. There's no regard for human life.
Yeah. And you think that's different than it was 1,000 years ago? I mean, they put Jesus on the cross.
Exactly.
So-
That's what I'm saying.
so
This
battle has been going on.
This has
forever.
been going on forever. And it all started when she bit that apple.
Eve.
Yes.
Eve.
I know her name.
From the tree of knowledge.
Yes.
I know you know her name. I figured you knew her name. I was just catching the audience up in
Yes.
case they didn't know. Smokes, you're a lot deeper guy than I think people give you
I
credit
honestly
for.
thought he only like did things that start with B.
I
Bags, bottles, bra. Like I thought.
Bags, bottles, and bras.
Yeah, I thought booze.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean,
Bible.
there you go. There you go.
Ball.
Yeah.
But like that's the
Boys.
thing, and I don't want people to watch this and just be like, oh, who does Smokes think he is? Like, I'm preaching good versus evil, but that doesn't mean that I fall into that other
Well, the line
category
between
somehow.
good and evil is drawn down your own heart.
Yeah, exactly. And we're all in constant battle with our flesh as well. Like, there's plenty of times. I mean, I'm very open about talking about doing coke and drinking and fucking as many girls as I can. But then what you don't hear me talk about is when I wake up on Sunday and I feel empty and sad from Sunday through Wednesday. And then I'm like waiting for the Thursday, Friday to come around to feel like myself again.
But yourself is like the devil is what it's on.
Exactly. Exactly. But that's the battle.
But are you Catholic?
I was raised Catholic.
Okay. And you're going to church now, I see, right?
Correct.
You
I used to go to church all the time, and then I got hired here, and I kind of just got lost.
Okay. And you went with T?
Yes.
Was that like a rock and roll church, or did you guys go to Catholic church?
It was a rock and roll church.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
It was good.
Yeah? You like that better than Catholic Mass?
It's more entertaining.
Yeah.
I think the sermons hit better.
Okay.
There's more passion.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the rock and roll stuff
Okay.
before.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little much. The church I used to go to back in Florida, they would do it, and I would show up as the songs were ending,
Okay.
and I would just go in and listen to the sermon.
Okay.
I do think there's an element of standing in a church with, it's a good mix. You go to church, you got olders, youngers, middle age, and they're like having this concert, and no one's like really
Yeah, it's
like
more like
moving
it can
and-
be more of a meditation thing,
right.
and a reflection thing. I'm worried about you
Why?
because you're leaving the Catholic Church. That's the one place where you can be yourself. Thursday to Sunday morning, you go in there, you confess your sins, and you're forgiven,
Yes.
and you can do it all over again.
But I also, again, this might sound crazy. I don't believe in religion. I believe in a relationship with God. I
Okay.
think religion
So maybe you are more of a Christian.
I think religion divides people. I think religion's been used as forms of government.
Mhm.
It's been used to create income, like generate money.
What are you giggling at?
They used
I
to
just can't.
they used to pay you used to have to pay a tax
Yeah.
to go to a church.
Some religions still do that.
Right. And I think that's crazy, and religion
Tithing.
has been one of the main reasons for an insane amount of deaths,
Mm-hmm.
wars over it, and the true basis of like having just a relationship with God has been kind of forgotten.
That's like an individual thing.
Right.
So do you think you can pray to God outside of a church?
Yes, absolutely. That's where you should be.
Okay.
Yes, I think going to church and religions create good communities.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even want to use the word pride. I value my relationship more with God than I do attending a church on Sunday.
Okay.
Because in God's eyes, we're all equal. I'm no better than a homeless man.
Mm-hmm.
If he can't go to church, but he prays, and let's say he has a Bible and he's in the Word and he's doing his thing, I'm no better than him because I went to a church on Sunday.
Yeah. So I remember when you first moved here, I think we were in our old office. You might have been on the Yak. You were like, I read the Bible. all the time.
Yeah, and they laughed at me, but it is
that
funny
was,
coming
that was
from me.
serious at that time.
Yeah, very serious.
Okay.
So take me through that. I'm fascinated by you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So are you reading like a passage at a time? Are you searching things out? Like what's your
yeah, I'll give you the whole backstory. So in high school, I became atheist.
Okay.
And then I dated this girl and she brought me back to God.
Okay.
And I started reading the Word, praying all the time.
What age was that?
This is probably like 21
Okay.
till now.
Okay. So 5 years.
No, okay. Let me get my timeline right because I was in Orlando. Okay, so throughout high school, didn't believe in God. After high school, got back with her, got into the Word. So this is like 2018. Yeah, I graduated in 17, so 2018 until now. So long story short, she brings me back to God. I start reading the word, whatever. And then your question was what?
I want to know like how you read it. Did you start at Genesis 1?
Yeah, so I start, yes.
Okay.
Front to back. Now, I haven't finished it yet. But now what I do is I leave it open on my, it's not a dining coffee table.
Okay.
So when I'm sitting on the couch, like it's there. And if the book's open, I'm going to read it.
Okay.
So I just leave it open and I read it.
Okay.
But essentially, so she brought me back and then I got hired here and I kind of just like stopped.
The devil within.
Yeah, because I always told myself once I get hired by Barstool, you know, like I'll feel fulfilled. Like nothing else will matter. You know, like my life will be made. And professionally speaking, like that is true.
Okay.
Like I do feel fulfilled in terms of, okay, I'm at exactly where I want to be. This has been my dream job. However, that emptiness in that void inside was not fulfilled
Correct.
through that job. And I feel like the only time I've ever felt somewhat fulfilled internally is when I had that relationship with God.
Okay. And do you think that relationship with God informs your other views about science and space?
Yes. And I don't want it, because I don't want to look at something that is 100,000,000% true and just be like, oh,
Yeah.
well, this says otherwise.
Yeah.
And here's like the thing, and
I say
it's also because like I'm new and I don't have
new here or new
in both.
Okay.
You know, like I haven't sat here and truly studied the word. Like I don't have it memorized. You know, I'm not like a master.
You're not a
of it.
religious scholar.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think my deepest thing, like I said earlier, is just having that relationship with God helps me, serves me, and makes me a better person overall.
Okay.
Now, I do see where people can read some things in there and be like, oh, well, do you think that makes sense? Do you think that's true? I've read some stories. I'm like, well, that kind of sounds a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But then again, like, who am I to challenge the creator? So,
Well, that's what they say, is that even if you read it and your first instinct is to be like, that sounds insane, and this is not me saying it, this is what religious people say, you have to read it through the prism that God is right. So if it's in there, it's right, and it's up to you to derive the meaning for it in your life. Like there's a story there, and there's like, that story is fucking insane, especially like the Old Testament stuff. But if you read it through like the prism where it's like, I have to investigate this and think about this further until I get to a reason that makes sense,
right,
or what the symbolism or the point of
that's
it is.
Again, and now like hardcore people will grill me for this, but I think a lot of those stories, even if they're not true, the message and symbolism within the story is a principle that should be taken serious.
Yeah. I agree with all you're saying, largely, except for the science stuff, because I don't see those as conflicting ideologies.
I don't think it's set in stone that they're conflicting. They can be used against each other as a weapon. Like for example, like let me go back to how religion can serve the bad guy. One of Jesus's biggest things was calling out false teachers and like the corruptness within other religious leaders. So like there's people, quote unquote, serving God, but they're not serving the right God. They're serving the other one.
Yeah.
So I think there's corruption.
Well, and it's like I feel like we've talked about this on here before too, where it's like, that's why you need something above. You need to have a God, because then all other authorities are beneath that. And you can call it God, you can call it the ideal, you can change the meaning. But if it's like, if you remove God, and this is what the communists would do, they would outlaw religion. So then they were the highest, the government was the highest authority.
Right.
So that's why it's like, if you're making an argument that people are using or trying to kill religion, that would be the reason for it.
Which is weird, because I was reading Romans last night, and it literally says in scripture that they're like, the government, like, you should be paying your taxes. Like they're there for a reason, to like govern.
Yeah.
So the fact that they remove religion.
What's the quote? Leave unto Caesar what is Caesar's, leave unto the...
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's tough. I don't know. It's very dicey.
It's dicey. I I just don't understand. I guess I can't get to the place where it's like I know 99% sure that James Webb telescope is out there floating through space, taking pictures of distant universes and all sorts of things, and we're discovering new things. Like that telescope is out there.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's out there, and you can turn different satellites and telescopes around and have pictures of Earth.
Okay.
That shows it's a sphere.
This could be completely wrong, stupid, idiotic.
That's never stopped me.
Yeah. If I put on a VR headset,
Mm-hmm.
right, and I had someone program some bullshit, the VR headset could essentially be my telescope, right? And I'm just looking out into something that was programmed.
Yeah, that's kind of like a simulation argument.
Now that could be, the simulation could be space.
Okay. Do you have thoughts on this?
Honestly, I'm truly taking it in and listening. I'm not laughing because I think you're crazy or I think these point of views are wrong. I honestly am. The parts where I'm laughing, I'm like, I just didn't know this was in.
Yeah, Smokes is an onion.
Like when you said that thing about the Bible years ago at the old office, I thought you were just being a try hard, like red pill society kind of person.
No, like when I tell you, like I was reading the Bible Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's
demon time.
Demon time, literally.
Yeah. Well, then do you feel this? It feels like you're waiting for demon time the way you talk about it. Like you want.
Well, I want. Go ahead.
Like it's almost like you have to choose kind of thing.
Yeah.
The way you talk, like it's like, do you? And I'm not. This is not a judgment. I'm just looking at listening.
He doesn't want demon time though.
I actually think that's true. What you're saying about Smokes, I know you decently well at this point. I think that you do demon time. Demon time is fun. But I think you seem like you're at your happiest when you have less demon time.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm in more control. And I believe that, and this goes all the way back to my upbringing in a sense. Like when I was 15, my parents would fight all the time. And all I wanted to do was be out of the house as much as possible.
Yeah.
So the best way to do that, I was downtown at the clubs, 15 years old. And I did that for 10 years. So I've always used it as this situation sucks. Let me go out.
Yeah.
So now, even still 10 years later, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm reading the word, right? But something still doesn't feel right because I'm not patient enough and I want that instant gratification. Yeah. Well, if I go to this bar and I drink 3 beers and I do a bump of Coke and then I see some hot blonde girl come in right in that moment, like I feel fulfilled. You know, I'm like, oh, this is great. This rocks.
Yeah.
And it's one hell of a drug. Like,
and I'm not a Coke guy, but like everything outside of that experience that you're saying that rocks, it does.
Right.
Like, it absolutely does.
Even if you're not doing Coke, like
it rocks.
It's a quick, and I'm not saying I'll never go out and not party again, but like this last weekend was the first time where I just said, no, I'm not going out. I want to just stay in and be alone. And that's another thing with me is that, you know, I have this big outgoing personality, but a lot of that is because I hate feeling alone. I hate and this is something I've been trying to work on. Like something that is crazy to me is that one of my biggest fears is being alone by myself with my own thoughts. Drives me crazy. And then that's why, because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's normal. It's like, hey, you have work tomorrow. Everyone's staying in, right? But then it gets to that Thursday, Friday, and people are going out. And it's like, well, I just spent the last 4 days by myself alone in my thoughts. How the fuck do I get out of that? And that's the quickest, easiest way.
Yeah. But I think that's fine and fair. Like everybody, like solitary confinement in prison is like the worst punishment for a reason.
I would kill myself.
Yeah. But I think like the way that you think, like even having that awareness means that you shouldn't be afraid of being alone with your own thoughts.
And this past weekend was the first time where I was like, you know what? This is not bad.
This has turned from a space discussion into like therapy stuff.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm interested though.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I think, but like, I'm sure you're fucking exhausted about talking about it by now, but you know, you're not single by choice right now.
No.
Right? Like you had that.
Yeah.
So going through that, I think you probably found where you need to be or where you want to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like that's what I was going to say. Like just, you know, your past relationships aren't necessarily the right one, but you do seem happier when you have a steady relationship.
100,000%.
Yeah.
And I it's not
Which
even,
I'm the same way. So
right. And like, I don't want to, this is going to come off douchey, but you know, like I've gone out and have had sex with gorgeous girls that people would like rave about to their friends for, like, they would be so hyped about it.
Yeah.
The next morning, I'm like,
It's empty.
empty.
Yeah.
Means nothing.
But
Correct.
question, saying that, say if you did get in a relationship and everything was good, do you think there would still be part of you that misses that? Because at what point
That
does
is a good question.
you
It's
want
a really good question, because when I was in a long relationship, there were parts of me that missed it, but I believe I missed it because I felt like I couldn't do it. You know, she was very like,
The forbidden fruit.
well, yeah,
yes.
they always want what you
But
can
like
do.
yes, to an extent, yes. But when it feels like every time I did go out, it was like I was doing something wrong to the girl I was with at the time. That's where kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah,
I was dating a girl that's like, hey, I'm going out with my boys tonight. She's like, okay, like good, go have fun. Like I'll be here, or blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I don't think I would miss it as much. I think I'd go out and be like, damn, know what? I wish I was with my girl right now and
Yeah.
come back. But when you feel like it's almost a reward that she's allowing you to go out, that's where it's like, oh, I kind of miss, like, essentially feeling like you have free will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting too.
Uh-huh.
You
But
don't
still,
want
though,
your
I still feel-
relationship to feel like you got shackles on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still feel like the former, would you ever get to that point where you're like, man, I
So
want to go
I mean,
out?
it's like I think everybody's different, but it's like, and I'm much older than you,
Yeah.
but I would say that I had a thing in my head switch where I used to have that same, like, I think, you know, like you want to go out, you want to, and it's like a wandering eye thing. But then you get to a point where it's just like your own wandering eye becomes like taxing.
Mm.
And it's like, I don't know if that's an age thing or what, but it's just like you get tired of, like, everyone loves the chase, and then I think you get to a point where you're just very tired of the chase.
Right.
You know, so I don't know what causes that, or if that's like a universal thing, but that's definitely a thing for me. Like, you like a chase, like what's that? There's that quote by fucking what's his name, Woody Allen, where it's like, I would never want to be in a club that would have me as a member.
Mm.
You know, I do, like, and that applies to like women too. Like,
Right.
and Dave and I have talked about this on this show many times, where if a girl likes me right away, it doesn't matter if she's a 10. It's like,
Yep.
something's wrong with you. I have to like try to, I have to win you over somehow.
Right.
Like, my jokes better fucking hit. And but if you like, then it's like it's a turnoff. So you do have like this. I think that's like innate, like you like the chase, but I have gotten to the point where it's like I am not interested in the chase.
Right.
Like, I don't enjoy, like, I go out, like, we had a day a couple weeks ago, we were at Declan's all day. I didn't feel the need to talk to any girls there.
But isn't it not the chase at some point? Isn't it at some point connecting with other people? Don't you find that enjoyable?
But that doesn't have to be the opposite sex,
Yeah, I guess.
you know?
Mhm.
Like, I don't,
But yeah,
yeah.
I guess.
Because that to me is like, when you're saying I'm going out, it's demon time, blonde girl walks by, whatever.
I go out not to meet friends. I go out to get drunk and get women.
Correct. That's,
Now, some people aren't wired like that. Like Jake Malisak, he goes out and he literally just
Yeah.
wants to watch ball and maybe like talk to some other dudes.
Mhm.
When I go out, it's business.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
It's
get
fucked
it.
up, but
I
like
get
that's
it.
true.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going out to meet a girl tonight.
yeah.
There's definitely two different types of guys. Like
Yeah.
that's what I was talking about with Kadik, because you give him shit about that too, right? He's not
Yeah.
really like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I also think like you're probably good at it, and everyone likes what they're good at. So if Kadik's out, or I'm out, or somebody who's not like wheeling the way that you are, you have like that uncomfortable feeling,
Right.
where it's like, I'd rather just be in my safe space with the boys, where you're very comfortable.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, I
too.
think there's
Yeah, that's
like
true,
people
too.
like their comfort, and
For
it
sure.
manifests itself in different ways.
a nice table where the game's on
Yeah.
is what.
Yeah,
that's-
right.
That's it.
I
That's it
I
for
do
me.
both. I do both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll sit
for
at the
sure.
table, watch
But
the game,
even-
but once the game's over, like
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
time to go.
And it's like, when the game's going on, this is previous me, you're still trying to make eyes while
Yes.
the game's going on, and then when the game's over, you're making a run to the bar or the bathroom or something, and maybe you say something to that girl you've been locking
Right,
eyes
yeah.
with, like
You've been
that.
recruiting the whole game.
Right, silently.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Which is true though.
Yeah. But even that's a thing that I'm like, I don't even try to make eye contact. I'm done.
And I think it's just better in your life to have that stability versus.
I would agree.
Because where was I going to go with this? Like my mother, right? Like I love her. I call her every single day. But she always tells me, she's like, behind every strong man is a strong woman. And I think the thought of marriage has been eviscerated. Like no one believes in it. No one wants to like work through the hard times. They'd rather just get divorced. And I think that's a problem. I think like the family foundation that this country once had no longer exists. And that's why you have a lot of these issues as well, is because like they're not being raised like with their parents. They're not being raised around love and what it show and like how to truly love someone unconditionally. And then even when the times are tough, like stick together and figure it out. I feel like everyone just looks for the quickest way, solve this, move on, blah, 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 blah.
This is a quick aside. There is no such thing as unconditional love except for maybe a parent to a child. All love has conditions. So it's like if you love your future girlfriend, but she is habitually cheating on you or doing things, like you are not going to love like those.
That's fair.
All love in relationships has conditions attached. So there is, when people talk about unconditional love, like that's not a real thing. There's conditions that are spoken and unspoken that feed into that.
I'm glad you said spoken and unspoken.
Yeah.
Because I obviously, like, if she's cheating on you in broad daylight over and over and over again, sure.
Right.
I guess
that's like disrespectful and right.
But there's also terms in terms of like monetary, right?
That too. Like you have like these are things like as you get in more and more serious relationships as you age, that you talk about that kind of stuff, because it's like if someone has a spending problem and it's like you're hurting our family and you're making the same mistakes over and over, then like that's a condition that it's like your problems are, you're putting your own whatever it is ahead of our family. That's a condition.
Right. And when you're putting it ahead of your family, you're putting yourself above them.
Correct.
And who are you serving when you put yourself first?
You're saying Lucifer. Satan.
Exactly.
I don't know how we got here.
I don't know, but space isn't real.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was a wild conversation.
I
had a feeling it might go that way.
Yeah.
But way deeper than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Interesting, though.
I think it was a good convo.
No, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed hearing that from you. Thanks for sharing. Because like you said, I didn't think it'd go that way, but
yeah,
I think it was better than
just
us talking like buffoons about fucking shit that we don't know.
Right.
Yeah. I think this is a little window into Smokes too.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, this was good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
Good stuff.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. That's it for today. We'll be back next week. We will see you then.